Does anything, perchance, look a little different to you? Maybe just the fact that it's a little bit smoother. We're going. Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm not going insane. That is smoother. I saw some weird device on my table. That's right, I got one. I have a Nintendo Switch 2. Things have changed. Look at this. It's a mouse. I could do this now. It's like a computer. So yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch 2 now. I was not expecting to get one quite yet, and no, this doesn't have to do with the announcement of the price increase. The reason I have this is actually quite intriguing, but I'll go over that in a little bit. For now, though, I just want to friggin' look at this. I don't know how smooth it is on stream for you guys, but my god, it's quite amazing. Look, it loads so fast! So fast! Look at this! It's so much faster! This is how the game should have ran! It's incredible. It's incredible what just a power boost will do. So, I have not experienced much of this update. Mainly because I physically couldn't for a while. Here's the thing. I remember this part, and I think Vix told me this before. With the Switch 2 update, we should be seeing a lot more Dunsparces. So we should realistically be seeing more just shinies in general. Which reminds me, I forgot to put on the counter. Let me go ahead and just go here and counter. I forgot to turn this on because I am a bit of a doof. Forgot to do that during setup. Go me. But hey, we're going. It's fine now. So, we're going to do 3 or 4 sandwiches depending on how long I want this to go. Give me a second again. God. I keep hearing noises. I don't know if it's the cats or what. Hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it's fine. But, yeah, we're going. Got ourselves... Did my Joy-Con just vibrate? Or... I think I'm losing it today. I am losing it today. Oh my god. Okay. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh my god, that is so quick. It is so quick. Okay, let's remember the recipe here. Onion, green pepper, hamburger. Tomato. Almost forgot the tomato. I knew I was forgetting something. Just didn't know what. 2 tofu and pick herba mystica that I need to get more of. Keep forgetting to be fair, I've been doing other things. And, you know, with having a Switch 2 now, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart World, so that's taken up a lot of my free time. Look at all these picks I got. Just because I could. I wanted some extra variety. I didn't have to do this, but I did, because cool. We'll do the gold ones for now. It feels like an upgrade. Wow. Wow. It's incredible. It didn't fix everything, though. Look at this. Look at this stuff very clearly still clipping in the freaking table. Couldn't be one that moves up like one tick. Oh, God. I hope that won't be a problem. Do. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have mistakes were made. I may have to reset the game for this. Oof. This is the worst sandwich ever devised by man. Why is that the first thing that fell off? The tofu or the tomato there didn't? Oh. This sandwich is so screwed. There it all goes. There it all goes. Here, we're just we're gonna save ourselves some time. That wasn't gonna work. Whoops! I missed. I don't know if it's the 60 FPS messing with me, or if it's just been the fact that it's been 2 months. But then again, I've had longer times between Dudunsparce and didn't have that issue, so what the hell is wrong with me? What did I do? Let's try this again. Creative mode. Tomato, onion, bell pepper, hamburger. 2 tofus, 2 missika. Take a pick. And we're back. Like nothing happened. Everything's fine. Yep, everything's fine. Everything looks good. It's all good. Oh dear. Not again. A little bit more in there, please. I'm trying to push it, but I can't push it. Maybe the tomatoes will push it down. I think they will. Push. Come on. No! How are you technically still on? Why am I having a problem with... What is happening with this sandwich? As long as the burger gets on here, it's fine. It's the bread. Put in the pick. Sandwich! Look at this. Look at this mess. Look at this stupid thing. My God, it's abysmal looking. It looks awful. Well. There's one tomato on the side. Okay. Well. We got our sandwich. Let's just go. So let's see how this looks. Let's see how this looks. How many encounters will I see right off the gate? Also, I'm noticing that because this is running at twice the frame rate, despite the fact that I still stream at 60 regardless, it has to take in twice the amount of frame changes. So my laptop's being a little bit with me. But I haven't seen a notable frame drop notification, so we seem to still be okay. Oh my God. There's so many Pokemon. Oh my God. You thought the one Girafarig was insane? Oh God. I'm surrounded. Uh-oh. Note to self, we are starting from, oh God. We're gonna start from Station 4 from now on. This isn't, oh God. Run! Oh god, okay. Well, that's just a little taste of what we're going to be witnessing. We're not starting at Station 3 anymore. We're just going to go straight down to 4 and just start halfway down in Area 0 now. Because there's just so many of them. There's so many. But if this doesn't make getting a shiny easier, I don't know what will. Because look how many encounters I get. Look how many chances I get to get a shiny. There's so many. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I should have done a test run of this. Where I was hunting something different. And not necessarily Dudunsparce. Because, oh my god. Normally I just move on around and, you know, keep track of all of them as I go by. I have to take it really slow now. There's so many! There's so many of them. Oh my god, there's so many Dudunsparce. If it wasn't for the fact that it transferred my save data from the Switch 1 to Switch 2, then I would have possibly wanted to stick with the Switch 1. Oh my god, I've never shiny on it like this. Does Legend ZA do this? Does it increase the spawn rate? I have a feeling it doesn't. But imagine now that I could play the Switch 2 upgrade on it. Imagine all the shit I'm gonna see now. This probably would have made getting some Pokemon a little easier, just more chances to get Halucha or Gumi and whatnot. But like, this is excessive. This is a bit much. Oh my god. There's so many. No more smooth moving. Oh no. So, you know how these Dudunsparce streams are normally a bit more on the relaxing side, and I can focus on just chatting with you guys, and, you know, if I spot a Dudunsparce that's shiny, I go for it, and, you know, I have no real chance of missing any. Now I have to be way more attentive. I have to focus way harder. Like, if this had the shiny sound, I wouldn't be too worried. But I know it doesn't. If it did, I wouldn't be going crazy like this. I would just naturally try to do, you know, dodge everything. And then I'd hear a ring, and then like, ooh, there's a shiny somewhere. I gotta look for it. But now is... I just have to focus like this. And it's become like the world's worst Where's Waldo book. She's like, oh my god, I have to look at every single one. Like, such, like, start and stop with this. Oh my god. They really should have added the shiny sound in this, because I feel like that would have definitely helped. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, I'm also running the game at 1080p. You're only seeing it at 720, that's what I'm capturing it as. But, I can assure you it's running at 1080 on my end. I'm not sure if that really changed anything. But... oh boy. Hey Vix! I'm sure you noticed something's different. Also, it's nice to see you again after so long. I assume you were busy with school stuff. But, yep! I have a Nintendo Switch 2 now. And I wasn't expecting to actually have one quite yet. I was gonna wait till probably closer to my birthday. I definitely wanted to make sure I got it before the price increase they announced for September. I figured it wouldn't be. I figured it wouldn't be right now that I would get one, because well, now's a good time to explain the story. So I don't know if I've talked about this in too much detail on stream before. Maybe I have. Honestly, probably could have been during a Dudunsparce stream, for all I know. But I am currently in a archipelago async randomizer thing called Perseverance, where the whole goal is that we turn our settings up to have the maximum amount of stuff possible to do, and then we just go and see how long it takes. We are currently 6 months into it so far. But because it's taken so long, the person in charge of them, in terms of these asyncs, has made little like spin-off asyncs called Penance. One of which had us do multiplayer stuff. So one of the games we did was me, an IRL friend I mention on here a lot, and the group leader. We all did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe together, because that has a manual randomizer where it's no game mods or anything required. It just has like a checklist client you can do, and anytime you do something that would fulfill a check, you just mark it and it sends the item out. It's really cool. But the thing is, the group leader had a Switch 2. My IRL friend had a Switch 2, which I told you about because I played a little bit of Mario Kart World before this. And I didn't. I was still on Switch 1. So but because of that, and because of the fact that the group leader specifically wanted to do Mario Kart World stuff for a potential future async, I've been testing their manual for that, and it's pretty fun. The two of them teamed up to get me a Switch 2. And like around the time I was wrapping up the main stuff for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, I was told via Discord DMs, just like, hey, would you want this? And I'm like, wait, what? you're kidding, right? You're not gonna. And they teamed up. They teamed up and did it. The group leader kind of just wanted to do it all by herself and just, deliver a Switch 2 outright. But like, I'm not sure how my family's gonna feel about that. But, secondly, my IRL friend is done with college for the semester, and I guess technically for the year. So he was heading back down this way anyway, so they worked together, and IRL friend basically worked as the delivery man for this. We meet up over the weekend to do Pokemon Go stuff because it was Dino Classic Com Day. And we wanted to grind that out a little bit. And that just happened. You didn't miss all of it. I still have most of World 9, and I'm going to go back for all the time trial shenanigans. But you did miss all of the main campaign. But don't worry, I'm going to play all those levels again, so really you won't be missing much of anything. I'm just going to be doing a lot of retreads now. That is, if it's voted on to do that then. Because I did make a community poll where we decided, do you want to do post-game for Donkey Kong, post-game for Pac-Man, or something entirely different? And that's something entirely different I'm thinking might be Kirby and the Forgotten Land with the Switch 2 add-on. Because I wanted to play Kirby and the Forgotten Land on stream. Ooh, I only saw one. I wanted to play Kirby and the Forgotten Land on stream, but then during a direct, I want to say the Switch 2 direct, they're just like, hey, we're gonna be upgrading this game to have extra stuff in it. And I'm just like, well, I don't want to play the incomplete version of the game on stream. I know it's a bad way of talking about it, but like, you know, I figured it'd be fun to stream all of the new stuff as well, because I've 100%ed Forgotten Land before, so it'd be a replay through for me. And I have done some streams of games I've played before, but I figured that with the new content, I'll just wait until I got the Switch 2 stuff. And good news, I have a Switch 2, and I can just get the DLC for it. With no issue. So that's fun. This is also the first time I'm loading up the Switch 2 upgrade to this, which luckily is free. You should have been here like a few minutes. Actually, how long has it been? 15 minutes ago. I started the sandwich after building the worst monstrosity of a sandwich I've ever built. I had to reset the game because I don't know if it's the 60 FPS messing with me or if I'm just bad at making sandwiches, but I really flubbed building the sandwich. The second time it kind of worked out, but it still looks terrible. It's like it's falling over. As I built it, I warped to my usual spot in Research Station 3. I usually start there and go past all the giraffe rig to enter here and get like one full loop of Area 0 first. And then I did that for this sandwich, and there was like 40 Pokemon all on screen at once, and I got completely surrounded. I'm like, oh god. Look at how many Pokemon there are. Like, these are normally the streams where I just kind of, I don't know if relax is the best word for it, but it's usually the stuff I kind of interact with chat more often. I tell stories about my day and what's going on, and speculation about future releases of video games. It's just the wild card of discussion. Now I have to focus on the game more than ever, and I really wish they would add the shiny sound in this, because I feel like that would be needed. It's like, I already felt a little paranoid that I was running right past shinies before. Now I think it's even worse. It's even worse now, because there's just so many Pokemon. And I know they could spawn behind you. There's maybe a slightly increased spawn, just a tad. Totally not looking at like the 20 Pokemon that just appeared in front of me. I kind of regret not just doing a stream where I just pick a random Pokemon and start shiny hunting that for a little bit just to get used to this. But at the same time, just dropping right on in also just kind of works. And it's really funny. So, like, yeah. Well, I'm gonna be a lot more paranoid about missing shinies now. But also, generally because of the encounter rate being buffed, I'm more likely to see a shiny, so, you know, I'm probably, I wouldn't say guaranteed, because there's always a chance I don't get that. How many, like, what's the odds now? Because I have the shiny charm, I have the sandwich buff, level 3. I don't know the exact odds, but I know it's not base odds. Is it like the 1 in 1,300 something, or am I closer to 1 in 683? I don't think it's 512. I don't think it's that good. Oh my god. Right before you showed up, I was comparing this to like the worst Where's Waldo book ever. It's like, look at this. I wouldn't be surprised if I missed a shiny already, and the game just doesn't tell you. Oh my god. I could probably just spend a whole sandwich driving around this section here. And there'd be so many new encounters every time I did. Wow, this is crazy. There's so many of them. So, yeah. So I have a Switch 2, and let's open up some new possibilities, I suppose. I just want to confirm, I don't think Legends ZA got anything like this Switch 2 edition. I think it still has the normal spawn rate, which, good. Because I think this might be a little much. Just a tad. Like, I knew there was going to be more spawns on Switch 2 because they want to take advantage of the higher processing power and all that, but wow, this is a lot. With no little extra sound to alert you that you're near a shiny. It's a little excessive. Oh god! Oh god, it's happening! There's also that. That can also happen. So, yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. Squeeze past all these Pokemon. One thing that's good, I guess, is that one little touch I remember from base Scarlet and Violet is that shiny Pokemon act a little bit differently on the field. Like, the normal ones, like these guys, they'll see me and, you know, dig into the ground and hide, you know? But I don't think shinies will. I don't think shinies run away from you. And I think it's also what helped people find Zorua a lot easier. Like Zorua and Ditto, they also act differently. So if you see a Pokemon that's normally very like ferocious and aggro, kind of chasing after you, but instead they're running away, that's probably a Ditto. It's like there's a little bit of difference in their behavior. So I could realistically just get in a group of Dudunsparce, and the ones that dig away are not shiny, and obviously leave room for more Pokemon to spawn that could potentially be shiny. But like, look at all of this. Look at how many there are. I'm surprised I've only seen the one so far. A for the draw distance, slightly higher textures, 4K 60, bare minimum. That makes sense. It was a new game, so they're not gonna, you know, buff it too much or anything. It's gonna be pretty much the same for both versions. They buffed it for Gen 9 because they wanted more people to be interested in just getting a Switch 2 and upgrading it there. It's a free update too, so it just recognizes you're playing a Switch 2 and then just goes absolutely insane. You'd think they would have done the same thing for the Thousand Year Door remake, because that one has 4K support programmed in that's never used, but they never did. It still uses the same Switch 1 output for some reason. Which leads me to believe they might do a Switch 2 edition with that. With like an upgrade pack or something. Which just begs the question, why the hell is it programmed in the game by default if you're never going to use it? That's the really weird thing. So I don't know. But yeah. I also still want to upgrade to the what's the name of it called? What's the better tier on NSO? Because now that I have a Switch 2, I have access to GameCube stuff if I do that. I've seen people online complaining about how there hasn't been that many releases based on what they've announced so far, which is a little disappointing, but I kind of get it because GameCube games are going to take up so much space, dude. ZA was originally developed as Switch 1 game, but got delayed to after Switch 2. Okay. So, they were already making this, which makes sense. They probably just jumped right in this during Gen 9's development. And then they got their hands on a Switch 2 dev kit for Gen 10. And they're like, why don't we just do something on Switch 2 for ZA too? And they had that kind of, you know, take a little bit of extra work to get that working. But, that would explain why they kind of, they announced the thing and then it disappeared for a while. That kind of explains that, because they probably got the dev kit then. But that's just a theory. I don't really know what happens behind the scenes with these companies. No one really does. And I guess it's what makes stuff like Directs, you know, kind of nice, because you can see all the stuff these companies are all working on at the same time. It's like, we're doing all these things. You want to see what we're doing? Here's these things. I mentioned the Direct specifically because we're getting close to that time where we're going to get a new one pretty soon. Sony's announced their new State of Play, which, you know, based on the little bits that I've seen and the discourse surrounding them, is basically, what if a Nintendo Direct was extremely bloated and had a bunch of shit no one cared about? Like, I know there's a lot of people on Twitter who are only tuning in hoping to see something Sonic related. As if a Sonic Central isn't gonna happen this year. Yeah, to be fair though, they did... Wasn't Shadow Generations announced during a State of Play? So, I get it. I get it. But it's also the 35th anniversary of Sonic, so... I'd understand them announcing something big during their own show, not during a State of Play. It's, you know, when Sony does a State of Play, Nintendo Directs usually aren't, you know, too far away either. And Sony at least gives you a little bit more of a heads up than 2 days in advance. Or in the Star Fox Direct's case, literally 10 minutes. I still don't know what was up with that. I talked about that during the Donkey Kong Country playthrough. What the hell was up with that? Like, I understand they were doing stuff with Star Fox, and they put him in the Mario Galaxy movie because of that. But, like, did they really have to essentially shadow drop a Direct? I like the time slot they did for it, because it was an evening Direct. It's roughly the time I normally stream. Which, you know, if they did normal Directs around that time, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But, you know, shadow dropping, effectively, a Direct for another Star Fox 64 remake. And confusing the hell out of everyone. It's very weird. It's very weird. To be fair, that does kind of fit with, oh, look! There's an example of, Shiny's acting differently. That one was running away! See? They do act differently! I'm not crazy! So, yeah. Nintendo kind of has this thing where they do things in kind of an unexpected way. You think you understand a pattern, and then they just go and mess with you. And it's strange. Like, let's essentially shadow drop a Direct for a Star Fox 64 remake. That for some reason also has like a VTuber mode for game chat, which is probably the most baffling thing out of that whole announcement. Just like, hey, we want you to use this game chat thing. You want to be Fox for a little bit? it looks like that old, like, what's it called, like Face the Rig program from like 10 years ago that all these different YouTubers were just fucking around with back then. We could be like a fox or like a red panda or a cheeseburger. I still vaguely remember the Jacksepticeye video about that. It looked really goofy. It kind of feels like that, except it's a Discord call. I'm just like, what? What? Meanwhile, I'm seeing all this stuff from the Star Fox community being like, we've waited all this time for another, like, reboot Star Fox 64's thing. Because, like, I haven't paid too much attention to Star Fox stuff in general. Not really my thing. Maybe I'll get the reboot remake thing that they're doing, just to give it an honest shot. We all know how that's went so far with stuff like Splatoon, which I did try again recently because of the group leader. She wants to do more multiplayer stuff, and I was kind of against playing Splatoon 3. Still kind of am. But, you know, I could maybe give it a shot at some point. I don't know. But I saw the fan base's reactions, and they're like, they're doing it again. Because Star Fox 64 was kind of a reimagining of the first game with stuff from Star Fox 2, which was canceled at the time before they resurrected it for the SNES Mini. And then they remade that for the 3DS, I think as a launch title, because, you know, Star Fox was them kind of flexing on the SNES to begin with, and then they're flexing how they can make proper 3D models on N64. Now they're flexing the 3D. Special 3D effects. You don't need glasses for it. That's Mom coming home and promptly dropping everything, I guess. A lot of noise going on from upstairs. She just came back from the first day of the 100-mile yard sale that we do every year. The next few days are going to be kind of rainy, so good thing she's actually inside where her setup is. But, where was I? Yeah. They rebooted the series on Wii U with Star Fox Zero, and obviously it sold like dog shit. And now they're rebooting it again by remaking Star Fox 64 again. And Star Fox Zero, from what I hear, is kind of like a soft remake of 64. Because this one's actively using the same levels. I think Zero, like, it was more of a remix than an absolute full-on remake, from what I hear. So, that's neat. And then you have a lot of the community being like, they just want to do this so they never have to acknowledge Crystal again because Miyamoto secretly hates her. Which, like, that'd be funny. I'm willing to bet. I've seen so much of, I want to say, Command. Was that the one on the DS that had all the different storylines? I think they kind of want to wash their hands from that in as many ways as they possibly can. Like, is it one of the endings that Fox gets dumped and just goes out for a drink with Falco or something? It's like, what the hell? That's not something you normally would see. That's a DS one. Oh, man. It sounds freaking crazy. Go ahead and put the proper moveset on you.
See, outside of the buff spawn rate, it seems to be roughly the same as normal. I only got 2 shinies. Oh boy. We'll just count that one as a bit of a dud. Now, imagine if the first shiny or the first batch during the Switch 2 stuff just happens to be the one that goes 3 segment, and then we're just done, right? Imagine. Imagine. It's so smooth. Okay, 2 segment. I sneeze. It's one of those sneezes where I feel like it's not actually... Oh, yep, there we go. It's not actually gonna happen, but it makes your nose feel all... for a few seconds, and then... You know? I hate those kinds of sneezes. It's like, there's clearly irritation, you want to sneeze something out, and your body just won't let you. It's like, is it enough? No, I think we're fine. Actually, I should check for marks and such. No marks. I should have nature guesses. God damn it. That's 3 full boxes, and you can be alone in this one. Save our games so we don't lose them by accident. Here we go again. So, yeah. This has been, so far, quite something. Star Fox the French I've kind of wanted to give a go. It's only been in remakes for years now. I mean, here's the thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with a remake. I understand that. I think a lot of people do. But there's a limit. When your franchise is mostly remakes during the modern age, it kind of gets a bit exhausting. Like, I'll give Star Fox this. The remakes are like the only thing that's happened since the DS era ended. But at least they only happen like every few years or so, right? It's not like Mega Man where we get a new collection literally like every few months, it feels like. Because we got the original Legacy collection right before Mega Man 11. And then between then and Dual Override, or as I like to call it, Mega Man Do, we got literally the rest of the main series. The whole Penguin split thing. We've gotten basically nothing but that, as well as like a mobile game based on X. And I say based on X, this like all Mega Man shoved together somehow. That died and also got a re-release. And then there was a Pachinko thing in Japan that doesn't really classify as a Mega Man game, really. I don't know. Ah, the Game Freezes are still here. Great. But, I will give Star Fox this. It at least is paced a bit more like you'd want from a remake, re-release deal. You know, it's like every few years or every few months. Still tiring just the same, I bet. The last 3 games are remakes of the same game, including the upcoming one. Maybe they'll actually break the cycle after this. Maybe because it's the freaking Switch 2 stuff. It's obviously already outsold the Wii U. Like, I feel like it's already a given. I feel like it's gonna do a lot better. And then Nintendo's gonna greenlight doing a new one. Like a proper new one. You know? It'd be nice if they just started with making a new one to begin with. But, you know. I'm saying this as a Pikmin fan, where, Pikmin 4 is mostly new, but it has like a pseudo-remake of Pikmin 1 in there. But I think it was the best way of handling that. Because I think that's obviously the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. And I think it's a great game to introduce people to the franchise. And they've already promised they're not going to take as long as the next one, so Pikmin 5 is confirmed. I guess. It's probably going to be a Switch 2 thing. I'm looking forward to it. They'll probably announce it like 2 years from now if they actually are actively working on it. you know, just something to think about. It's kind of weird, because, like, Nintendo usually does this kind of thing where they do a smaller release for a franchise, and then they do, like, a big release, like, a couple years later, right? Because you had Pikmin 3 Deluxe to Pikmin 4. You had Mario U Deluxe to Wonder. You had Link's Awakening Remake to... What's the newest 2D one where you're playing as Zelda? I forget. I keep wanting to say Wand of Gamelon. That's not it. That's CDI. That's different. That's a different Zelda game. There was a Metroid Prime 1 remaster for Prime 4. There was the Booster Course Pass being kind of an apology for taking so damn long with Mario Kart World. That came out soon after. That was like a launch thing for Switch 2. That was a couple years after that wrapped up. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a new F-Zero thing, considering F-Zero 99 is a thing. That would fit the small release criteria. But then there's the Star Fox remake. The Star Fox 64 remake reboot thing. Where it's a remake of 64, but it's acting like it's a reboot of the whole series. Which I guess it kind of is. But it's weird. But they're hyping it up as if it's a big release, when it feels like it'd be a small release considering it's a remake. So I'm not sure what to put that under. But again, that's classic Nintendo for you. They do a thing enough times where you see a pattern and then they just breaks the pattern as soon as you start noticing. It's very weird and it catches you off guard every time. You know? Oh well. So that new Yoshi game came out. Change the subject. Remake Star Fox Assault 5 times next? No. No. It's gonna be 64 again. They're gonna call it Star Fox 65. They're just gonna go full on meme with it. They're obviously they're gonna see the joke and they're gonna go all out with it. Oh man. But the new Yoshi game came out and people are complaining, oh, you can't even take damage. It's a baby game. It's another bad baby Yoshi game. Remember when they used to be hard, like the original Yoshi's Island? Wah. And I'm just here like, it's not a typical Yoshi game, really. It's more of like a puzzle platformer, and you're actively encouraged to engage with literally everything and just do a bunch of random shit. Like, in a way, it's almost like you're freaking QA testing. You see a thing, and you interact with it in as many ways as possible to see what happens. And I feel like that's okay to not have a freaking damage system in a game like that, you know? The game seems really cute, and I want to play it. And I'm also really grateful because it's the game that spiraled the recent decrease in price for games. Because with Yoshi's Mysterious Book, which I hear has a different name in Japan, along the lines of how Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, it's called Yoshi's Universal Gravitation overseas. I want to say it's called something similar outside of the US. It's like Yoshi and the Chronicle of the Mysterious Book or some shit like that. It's like some longer name of some sort. That might have been just a meme. I don't know. It fits. I think it's funny. But of course I saw the Twitter video where they're going over like little bits, and it looks like so much fun. I was kind of like generally dismissing it when they first announced it. I'm gonna be frank. But seeing it more in action, I'm honestly really intrigued by it. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Wario Land 3, which I played first on NSO, where there's also no real death or damage system in that game as well. But like you interact with the environment and it changes Wario these different ways. Where like he becomes a weird spring thing. He can flatten himself and kind of awkwardly waddle around like some sort of squished bug. He catches fire and runs around before becoming a big ball of flame, basically. He gets stung by a bee, and all the swelling causes them to start floating away. And it's really funny. I feel like the new Yoshi game kind of feels along the lines of that, but with more Yoshi-style gameplay. Because it still has the whole egg-throwing stuff from Yoshi games of, I guess, most of the series. It is definitely like a different style of objective. But it looks like a lot of fun. I do want to give it a shot. That might be something I stream down the road. You never know. I do find it quite intriguing, which I think is the point. Because that's kind of something I do like doing in some games. Just kind of seeing what kind of shit I can pull off, you know? And a game that's kind of built around interacting with the environment and the different enemies a lot more. I feel like that'd be right up my alley, you know? Like, I just love to experiment. See, now the spawner becomes somewhat normal. It seems like a normal freaking Dudunsparce stream. And then I go up this ramp and there's suddenly like 100 of them. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's so different. See, it's normal. Everything's normal and fine. Everything's kind of normal. And then, up, there they all are. Spawning behind me. How many shinies do you think I've missed because of that? Because they spawn behind you? It's very weird. See, it's mostly normal. And then it just spirals out of control. It's not too dissimilar than normal, is it? Maybe I shouldn't be using Mariah on this. Maybe I should just be walking around like this. Give everything more time to spawn. I mean, not like it matters if I get super high up, because everything spawns around me anyway while I'm looking around, but like little straightaways like this, I can probably just go 1 foot. Which is a very weird way of doing this. Oh my god. So look, as I'm going up, all of these are spawning up here. It's so much more congested. Just like my sinuses. Yeah. But, now it's kind of calmed down a little bit. now the initial rush of holy shit, there's so many of us kind of worn out. Just the N64 clip in 4K. You know what? When we're about to wrap up stream, I will head right there. I want to see this. Like, I doubt they changed it at all, but it'd be really funny. I mean, I can't really check in 4K. I think my TV only supports 1080. But that's still plenty. So you think, oh, the Switch 2, they're obviously going to upgrade things so it looks better and runs better. I'll give it this, it runs better. Not really necessarily looks better outside of 60 FPS. I'm still of the camp that 30 FPS is definitely playable for most games, but the frame rate wasn't really the problem. Scarlet and Violet really wasn't. Was that a shiny that fell down there? I don't know. They went by kind of fast. It was hard to tell. I'm gonna assume it was and feel very sad for it. It's kind of the problem with the shiny for this. It's the accent color that changes, so the teal kind of becomes pink. It's not like a Pokemon that has like a full, like complete color palette swap, you know? Like if the yellow part changed, I probably wouldn't have too much of a problem. I could probably focus a little bit less. But because most of the change happens on its back and its underbelly, like this guy. Oh god! A random Dudunsparce spawned on the cliff. She's like, oh god! That happens every so often. The spawn area for some of these Pokemon is a bit stupid. Like I've already talked about how many times Pokemon spawn in the wall down here. Like, I don't know what really determines how a Pokemon can spawn in. Is it a thing like, within this radius if there's technically standable ground? Or is it like a programmed actual spawn area and they didn't refine it? I don't know. Either way, they didn't really do much in terms of cleanup to make it all work. So you have Pokemon that kind of just poke their heads out of walls. And you also have weird cutscene glitches where Pokemon will spawn in the sandwich cutscenes for like I saw like half second. It's like Arvin's congratulating you on your defeating of the Titan Pokemon. Then something Ursaring pops up for a split second, or a Psyduck shows up and says hi. Like, what the fuck? I don't think that ever happened to me, but those clips are glorious. Gen 9 is a lovingly crafted game. See, it is a cameo from Freddy Fazbear. What more could you want? I still believe, to an extent, that Generation 9 is the Sonic 06 of Pokemon. Like, I do fully believe that. You know? I'm not sure if the Pokemon Company's fully woken up since then and gotten their shit together for Generation 10, or if it's just they showed us a good look so far what they have done and it's gonna be really bad by the end. I don't know. Like, obviously they're not gonna actively show off any low polygon trees or N64 cliffs, but like, you never know. I'm still gonna get the game, but I'm being a bit cautious about it, being like, is it gonna be this again? Like, I have high hopes for Generation 10, and I hope to God it's a really good one, but you know, at the very least, the bar is not set very high, given the fact that Gen 9 turned out like this. This is after multiple updates, and it's still kind of, Even the Switch 2 can't save it. I had the game freeze up for a few seconds once finishing that sandwich, you saw that. And then that wouldn't happen on Switch 2, but no, it's a thing with the game itself. It's not a, oh, this doesn't have enough computing power, we can't go. No, it's just a game being programmed like shit. Whoops. I will say this, though. The game's been a lot more stable since its release. Because when the game first came out, and the first week I played it, I had the game crash like 2 or 3 times. It's safe to say I haven't seen a crash like that happen in a while, so it's not like they just slapped it out there and then gave up, you know, but a little bit more care would have been nice. Just a little bit, you know. I'm not asking for a lot, but At the very least, I did enjoy Legends ZA, and that was a definite improvement from this. Again, not like that's hard. Not like that's hard to do. So, yeah. So even this kind of looks like maybe PS2 stuff for the graphics. Like, you think it'd look a little bit better. I mean, considering the Switch 1 has the power of roughly a PS3, Xbox 360, you'd think it'd kind of aim more for that, wouldn't you? And then this is like a little bit better than PS4 now, I think. I am glad that the capture card still works with this. I was actually a little bit worried that I would load it up and then it just won't load up properly. And it's like, oh, I can't capture games anymore and something's all fucked up. But no, it captures fine. It captures fine. It's not really any different. So it's a very seamless transition to the Switch 2 era of streams. Some people think it looks worse than Scarlet Violet. I don't really think it does. Like, I will agree that some of the stuff like the flat balconies looks kind of stupid. I will agree on that much. But I don't think I saw a single time in Legends ZA where it's anywhere near as comparable to, like, the N64 cliff. So, I will say the game generally looks better. Now, granted, you know, Switch 2 Edition, you'd think it'd be a little bit more improved from there because it doesn't really change that much outside of a little bit of improved textures. Like, it's still better than this. It's still better than this, really. Again, the bar is set really low because this game really needed like another year. They didn't want to change the release window, and the pandemic shook everything up, and I think they would have taken that into account, but they really didn't, and they really should have. It was a mess. It was a whole mess. But hopefully Generation 10 doesn't have any weird hiccups like that for its first development. Hopefully. Like, if it's like a smooth development, they give it extra time, which it seems like they are giving it extra time, because it is a next year release as well, so they have like all of this year as well. It's not that they announced the game and it's out in like 6 months. You know, they have a little bit more time. Not to mention, you know, I'm pretty sure after the DLC of this wrapped up, they didn't really do much for like updates on this game ever again. So they probably went full force into what was left of ZA, and then everything goes into Generation 10. I'm still not sure which version of the game I'm gonna get. I'm definitely gonna try to coordinate a little bit better with my IRL friend because we both got Violet last time. So, you know, I want to make it a little bit easier to get the missing Pokemon for the Pokedex. I've been meaning to at least trade with you to get the Scarlet Paradox Legendaries that I'm missing on here, but, you know, I could just get stuff from home and bring it in at this point, I think. I don't want to trouble you too much on that. At least I remembered again, finally. But, yeah. I will say this. I do at least know what starter I'm picking. And it was instant. I want the dog. I want Pombon so badly. a cute, fluffy little boy. He's a good doggo. I want that good doggo. I had a pet Pomeranian growing up, and I miss them a lot. And seeing how we have a freaking fire Pomeranian as a starter, of course I'm gonna pick him. I think it's gonna be another one of those times where the water starter kind of gets shafted again, though. It's been kind of happening as of late, don't you guys think? Where the water starter kind of gets, I wouldn't say forgotten about per se, but it's just kind of there. Like, you get a lot of people talking about the grass and fire types. But then the water types are often either like mocked or just kind of forgotten about. Like, Sobble, oh, he cries a lot, but at least he's, you know, like a sniper, I guess, when you have all those kind of cool. Not gonna beat Soccer Rabbit or Drum Set Monkey. Then you have Generation 9, where I feel like I was the only one who picked... Wow. I feel like I was the only one who picked Quaxley, like, ever. Because, of course, like, everyone was wanting Sprigatito because cat, or Fuecoco because Skeletor, just one of the best Pokemon ever made. What is it with fire starters being really good? But then, you know, Quaxley kind of got overshadowed and people were hitting on the design. I like it, personally. But I know some people don't really like Quaxwell specifically, just how big the head is. I like it. I like it. And then Generation 10, it's going to happen again, because people are talking about Brout because Angry Bird, Tombon because cute dog, and then Gekwa, like, at best, you get a few little pet shop remarks, and then everyone moves on. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone online outside of, like, 1 or 2 random tweets of people actually wanting to pick it. Which is, kind of standard. It's kind of how it's been for the water starters as of late, which is kind of frustrating. Because, you know, the fire starter... The fire starters have already kind of had, like, a big advantage. And the grass starters often had their contenders. Water had something for a while, man. And then it just kind of fell apart somewhere, you know? It's like... Here's the thing. I love the Piplup line. As much as I don't really pick Tepig for Gen 5 starter, but I do like Oshawott a lot. Of course, we can't forget Mudkip, the best water starter ever made. Gen 1, I'm obviously going to pick Blastoise over the others. I think Charizard needs a little bit of a break. He gets way too much stuff. Overrated Pokemon of the century, dude. But, like, I don't know. Something just kind of hit. Like, after Greninja, I feel like they kind of started, you know, falling apart a little bit. Like, I like the Popplio line enough, and then, you know, something about it, it kind of feels like the water starters kind of lost something. I'm not going to say they're necessarily bad or anything, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. It kind of feels like, more often than not nowadays, grass and fire kind of become like big contenders for the fan love, and then water's kind of on dry because something about it is just not all there, I guess. I don't know. I know you still are typing with a less than ideal mobile device, so I understand that typing could take a little bit longer. So I'll look at that in full in a second. I don't want to look away for too long because there's so many Pokemon here. I don't want to miss a shiny, you know? I did get two right next to each other, so, you know, you understand my concern. There's so many more spawns, dude. Huge sick of areas look comparable to Z. Also, some areas I think actually look kind of good. Yeah. Scarlet and Violet doesn't really have any spectacular looking areas. Like, at best, it looks decent. Very bare minimum. Like, I can kind of understand what they're going for in places like Area Zero. But, you know... Yeah... You just need a little bit more time. Time I just didn't get for some ungodly reason. You couldn't have made it a holiday of the following year? Like, I get you want a holiday release, but you could have done the holiday of the following year and been fine. Like, what's going on, guys? At the very least, it would have given Generation 8, like, one more time to have the World Championships. Because of the pandemic, they only held World Championships for Gen 8 once. Come on. Could have given it a little bit more something. See a few people interested in the water star, if I call correctly. Fire and grass have way more people interested. Yeah, that's how it's been for the last few gens. I think it's a little bit unfair because, you know... I used to normally pick the water types out of the three. And of course I'd have my occasional exceptions, like, you know, Tepig. But, like... You know, I kind of feel like I was the only person who picked Quaxley. And I wanted to pick Quaxley immediately because I saw him like, I want to have Donald Duck. But, you know, looking back on it, I guess it makes sense that no one would pick him. So who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck. I think it makes sense that no one fucking picked him. But, you know, I did like him. Definitely the worst of the three starters in Gen 9. Which is a little unfortunate. But, you know, I still like him. I still like him. But, like, you're not gonna win a competition against Cat and wrong button. What was it? Some of the Pokemon was it this? There we go. This thing. Of course you're gonna lose. You could have at least tried a little harder, at least. Man. I do generally like Quackable's design, though. I do like that the peacock feathers are more abstract, and the feathers are shaped like drops of water. I think that's cool. But yeah. The Populous one's pretty good. Yeah. I remember I think you may have been here for that during the Indigo Disc stuff. One of the quote-unquote gym leaders had a... Was it Primarina? That's the final stage? I struggle against that so much. It's a good Pokemon, but I feel like that's like the last good water Pokemon. And people were making jokes about it back then because it looked too girly or whatever. It's like... It's a fairy type. What do you expect? It's gonna look more like that. I think it makes sense. It's fine. And it's a good Pokemon. But then again, that generation also gave us... I don't know what to say. The most OP starter of all time. Because you got the Decidueye, which I think is pretty solid, and then you get Incineroar, which, my god. So let's say it's going to... Yeah. I feel like it has its moments, but, like, It really should have looked better than this. Like, at best, it's passable. Yeah, everything loads better on Twitch too. Look at this. Boop, done. It doesn't even fade, it just pops to black. It has no time to do a proper fade. It's just gone. And look! That was quick! It's so fast. It's so freaking fast. Alright, we have 3 Dudunsparce here, all of which could be contenders for our 3 segment. As for nature guesses, I'm gonna say adamant, bold, and timid. Gentle. I got bold! I found a bold! No marks, though. No marks. Alright, let's go ahead and add in the proper move. They're just high enough level where Hyper Drill's automatically removed from their move pool, so it's added manually. So I think... I don't know if it's how it's always worked, but I feel like a wild Pokemon knows the latest 4 moves it could possibly learn in its move pool by default. It's just that this game lets you remember moves for free instead of having to do a move relearner thing. Which is nice because... Do I have any heart scales on me at the point? They'd be in here, right? I sold them all. But like... Imagine needing to get the shinies from here because it's like the best spot to get them. And then having to farm for heart scales to relearn moves. Like, my god. Oh god, Switch 1 used to be really bad with loading in the boxes. They updated the game, made it a little bit better, but it still wasn't like that. It's still a lot slower in comparison to now. Alright. 94. We're actually close to 100. Oh, wrong. No. Wrong. There. Thank you. It was really bad on launch, I will say. It was really bad on launch. But they did update it a little bit to fix it. It's still isn't great. But, you know, it's better. Again, not like it's hard. I don't know. I don't have experience to back it up, but I feel like they may have loaded better on Gen 8. But again, I've never played Gen 8, so I don't know. I don't know. So I can't say for sure on that. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But no 3 segment for me right now. There we go. You'll have fun in there. We'll do another sandwich. So even this loads a little faster. Just, boop, we're in. the shadow coming in is kind of funny. But everything just kind of loads a little bit quicker, which is nice. Very, very nice. Would have been nice if the stuff they loaded looked better, because oh, they still saw it. This is still a problem. You couldn't have raised him like a pixel higher? Really? It's doing that thing where it's like, it's called Z-clipping, right? Where 2 objects are like touching the same Z coordinate, and they're kind of clipping into each other, kind of fighting over dominance as to what's supposed to be visible. Like, that shouldn't be happening in a Pokemon game. It really shouldn't be. So, I don't know. Just, I know it still had the Pokemon Center boxes, but did they load faster than this, is what I'm saying. Did they load faster in Gen 8 than they did in Gen 9? At the very least, is it even vaguely comparable to even now with the Switch 2 edition? Not sure. I have no experience to have marked up. Oh my god. You saw how jitter that shadow was. That was really awkward. Just more proof that Generation 9 needed a little bit more time. That was... I wasn't expecting it to look too much better on Switch 2, but goddamn. It comes there right when the screen opened. So it did load, if not faster, at least better. At least better than Gen 9. Which, again, you'd think wouldn't be hard. Oh well. Oh. Here's hoping Generation 10 ends up being really good. Get us back on track. You know? It'd be nice to play a Pokemon game that's actually really good again. It'd be nice. So yeah. Do the decay stations, I assume they're preloaded with the room. Maybe. I'm not sure how all this stuff is programmed. I'm not the type of guy who knows all the inner workings of these games or anything. But, you know, I just think... It's not like they're loading models or anything for the boxes here. It's all sprites and 2D images. So, like, why does that take so long to load? Why is it a problem? You only need to load the models if you're doing the certain box view, and most of the time you're not even using that. So, like, what the heck? What the heck? There's a reason why I compare this to Sonic 06. There's a reason. But, trying to think about what I talked about while I was playing Donkey Kong Country, because it'd be nice to talk with you about some of it. I'm pretty sure Frontiers Definitive Edition was at least found out about before I played Donkey Kong. I think we talked about that a little bit during Dudunsparce. Since then, I think... Yeah, I don't think you were here when they lowered the price of the original game. You can now get Sonic Frontiers for $40. Which means they are definitely planning for something. If the rest of the stuff so far didn't confirm it, I'm pretty sure that just did. I think someone just made like a fake email leak thing, where it's like an episode Shadow or Metal Sonic or something, and don't do that, please. Don't do fake leaks. And even then, a freaking Sega News or anything would not be the way that would leak, because they're in full control of that. They wouldn't like schedule it that poorly, right? Come on. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But, yeah, they are definitely gearing up for something. I think Sonic Superstars also recently got a similar price drop, so we might finally be getting Superstars Plus, which would be funny. But, I don't know. I feel like we don't really need a Superstars Plus as much as, you know, anything for Sonic Frontiers. Even then, I don't think Frontiers really needs anything else, because Final Horizon kind of fills that similar plush kind of thing, you know? Because in its own way, Final Horizon is kind of like Encore mode, right? And then Superstars had Trip Story, which is basically just Encore mode. Just play as this specific character and all the levels are remixed. It's like, okay. What would they realistically even do for a plus of that, right? Would they just add in Mighty and Ray again? It's like, oh, okay. Sure. It's kind of stupid, but sure. I don't know. With the Korean ratings board and the price cut, that's what they yeah, fix the poppin'. Yeah, that'd be nice, but they also possibly could have fixed that before. Maybe after the Switch 1 edition, but like, you know, you'd think at least for like PS4, PS5, the Xboxes. And of course, they're gonna re-release the game for Switch 2 with the Switch 2 edition, so we're effectively getting the PS4 version finally. Like, you'd think it wouldn't be a problem. Then, at the very least, they could have addressed that during the updates, but they didn't. I don't know why. I think you were saying how it might have been like an engine limitation or something, and I guess with Definitive Edition, they could realistically change the engine. At the same time, I feel like they wouldn't just have us buy the game again, right? So given the fact I don't even think there's a Switch 2 edition of the original Frontiers yet, I feel like it would just be an upgrade package. Like, it'd be a thing where you get the game on Switch, and it's the Switch 2 edition as well. Like, it has both. Like, you upgrade to the Switch 2 edition, and it has the Definitive Edition stuff in it. I don't know. Because, like, I don't want to have to buy the game all over again just to experience the new inevitable Shadow stuff. Because they got tied in with Shadow Generation somehow. But, like, I feel like... Here's the thing. When did Frontiers come out? Like 3-4 years ago? I feel like it's too soon to do like a major buy it again re-release type thing. I mean, I appreciate them having the audacity to do something like that, but God, dude. Man, why? Like, you'd think it would just be like a deluxe package thing, because they do the digital deluxe editions, which I am still frustrated by the way. And of course, like Nintendo and all these other companies are doing like Switch 2 editions, where it's like, here's the game, pay $10 more, you can upgrade your Switch 1 game to have the Switch 2 stuff in it. You know? And, you know, Sonic did that, I think, with Cross Worlds, which I did not get so far. So, like, they're not completely against that idea. I don't know why they would just fully re-release Frontiers again like that. It's kind of strange. I really don't think they would... I don't think they would have us buy the whole game again. But then again, this is Sega we're talking about. They do even weirder things than Nintendo does. Like, I made a comment about Nintendo having apparently constantly break and do weird shenanigans just when you're figuring them out. And then there's Sega. then there's Sega. They're investing in NFTs now, again. Like, 3 years after they were even vaguely relevant. What the fuck are they doing? Why? I don't get them sometimes. I don't get any of these game studios sometimes, man. Like, you think this would be a lot more simple. You think a lot of the business stuff would be a lot more simple, but they do the stupidest shit. They do the absolute dumbest shit imaginable. I don't get them. So, like, yeah. It's like an upgrade. I hope to God it is. But no, I don't want to have to pay $70 to play Frontiers again. You know? I don't want that to be the case. Then again, I feel like that would be something Sega would totally do, even with all the Plus expansions they've done. Like, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. That should go to show that something is wrong and I'm not trusting them over a business decision like this. It's like, guys? Like, I understand you want to do, like, a full physical version with everything already there. Like, I get it, but, like, you're not gonna just leave us existing already paid for the game once before customers out of this whole thing, right? I don't want to have to buy the game again. You know? I already got games again when I got my Wii U stuff on Switch. I don't want to do that again with Sonic Frontiers. Not freaking 3 years later. At least with the Switch stuff, A, there's no backwards compatibility, and B, a lot of the games were like 5 to 8 years later, so it was still a decent chunk of time. Like, what? Pikmin 3 originally came out in 2013, and the deluxe port was 2020? Like, that's a substantial amount of time. And given the circumstances, I feel like I could justify it a bit more with that. You know, plus I want to support the Pikmin franchise, because I want to see more Pikmin. I like Pikmin! I still have Olimar as my profile picture on Twitter and Discord from the freaking Olimar takeover thing we all did. I never bothered changing it back. So, like, you know, I feel like it's a bit more justified with the freaking Wii U ports, but, like, this is different. This is different. It's gonna run on most of the same consoles, if not all of them. I say most, because I'm not sure if the Switch 1's gonna get anything out of the deal. That's the thing. They might just leave the Switch 1 behind out of all this, and I wouldn't be too upset about it. I'd be a little miffed, of course, but, like, assuming it upgraded, it'd be the Switch 2 edition. Like, fine, you know? But, like, for, like, PS4, PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, like, they can still run the original game perfectly fine, so, like, what the fuck? But they're gonna re-release the game again on those same consoles. What are you doing? It's not even like a backwards compatibility thing, like with Generations. It's like, here's the game again. It has to be an upgrade. It has to be, right? You know? It's too soon, and it's gonna be on all the same consoles again. So what would be the point, instead of pissing everyone off, that you charge another $60 to buy the whole game again? Because that just seems really stupid. But again, they've made some baffling decisions. For one thing, they still trust Denuvo. My God. Low-key, I think the world's kind of better off without DRM. Because, like the good Lord of Steam, Gaben. in Gabe, he always says, Piracy is a service issue. And with Denuvo very clearly giving people a better experience if they don't buy the game, I feel like that's a bad thing. Because didn't they finally like fully crack Denuvo entirely like last month? And everything runs like 10 FPS better. You don't have to worry about the constant online checks. It is actively just better. What the fuck? Why? Can we just classify Denuvo as malware already and be done with it? Come on. That's what it is. That's all it is, and it's so frustrating. Like, as subpar as the ports are for Sonic Origins, you think the games would run pretty well on this laptop, right? Like, it's old and out of date, definitely, but they're 2D games. This thing can run Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited like a dream, right? I understand the fan remake versus Sonic Origins, a different engine, but like, it's the same kind of stuff. It shouldn't run like dog shit. But no, trying to stream that on Twitch nearly fried the laptop. Not just getting through a menu. Then I load up Sonic 1, it's running like it's a PAL version. What the fuck are we doing? It's entirely Denuvo's fault because Sonic 1 should never run that bad. I bought Sonic Origins, not Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for the Game Boy Advance. What are you doing? And it's entirely because of Denuvo. I mean, Origins also isn't that great to begin with. But, like, you know. I pre-ordered that and I can't play the fucking game. I could probably play with nothing else on in the background. But, like, even then, it's Sonic Origins. I'm better off just playing Sonic 3 Air. Like, what was it, like Sonic 1 Forever, Sonic 2 Absolute, or some shit like that? The fucking PC decomp ports of the iOS Android version. You know, the better version. Origins was such a misplay, dude. Everything about that was just wrong. Man. Frontiers is the highest selling 3D Sonic game of all time. They want to sell the upgrade to all people who own it. I hope so. I'm willing to bet it became the best selling 3D Sonic game. A, because it came out around the movies. And that definitely helped. And B, it was on the Switch. The Switch made it everything fucking sell. I mean, Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Mega Man 11 are the best-selling games in their specific franchises, too. I think it's just because the Switch has such a huge install base, and then, you know... oh, a new game from this series that I like, and I can get it on the Switch. It's so convenient. It's like, no shit, it's gonna sell like freaking hotcakes. But like, it's also Sega. They missed the mark a lot of time with that. So I don't know. Anyway, I hope it turns out well. At the same time, though, like, as much as I'm gonna appreciate Definitive Edition, and, you know, if we get a Sonic Superstars Plus, like, I'd be fine with it. Not like it really needs one, but, like, you know, that's cool. Like, I'd prefer a new game. I prefer to have something new. And maybe they are working on something new. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something. Like, it wouldn't be the first time they split Sonic Team up into separate groups and did multiple Sonic games at once. Like, Frontiers could be done by the B team while the A teams work on the next mainline game. And, you know, because live service as a whole thing is currently dying out, and because Sonic Rumble isn't doing so hot, they sent like 100 employees from the mobile game division and had them work on the main series now, I think. So that's pretty cool. So, like, hopefully they have a new Sonic game in there somewhere. I don't want the 35th anniversary to just be re-releases. You know? It'd be nice if we got a brand new mainline Sonic for the 35th anniversary. You know? Just... Maybe I'm just wishing for too much, you know? Maybe I'm wishing for too much. Because Shadow Gens feel like a smaller thing, and of course these upgrades to already existing Sonic games, definitely a smaller thing. Where's the big thing? Where's the big thing here? You know? Like, I'm not gonna expect like a Sonic Adventure 3 or anything, but like... You think whatever they're doing for Frontiers 2, they at least announce it for the 35th, right? Because, like... There's gotta be something big going on, you know? Like, they're not gonna waste the freaking anniversary stuff on just re-releases, right? Cause like, they're hyping something up if the Twitter stuff's anything to go by, right? Because, like, every, like, month or so, they update their profile, they'd be like, we're celebrating the 2010s, the 2000s, which was like the best thing. Now we're celebrating the 90s. And it's like, okay, you're going through all of Sonic's history, even the unfavorable parts. Like a big celebratory thing. I do appreciate that for the 90s banner, all of the Game Gear games are all clumped together in one section. That's funny. But, like, they wouldn't do this just because, oh, it's Sonic's anniversary, happy birthday, Sonic, and we're moving on. They're doing something big. They had to be doing something big if they're doing some hype cycle thing like this. Because they didn't do something like this for the 30th. The 25th had that freaking emblem they stuck around for years after for some reason. Of course, that infamous stream. We're like, surely, right? They gotta have something. They gotta have something. Like, a re-release and the strangest collabs in a mobile game to ever exist? No. Like, you thought the Care Bears was weird. Fuck it, let's bring Popeye into this. It's the closest thing you're gonna get to a new Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. And I hate the fact that that's true. I hate the fact that that's true. Man. It's gonna be filler, so we scheduled this year. Yeah, I get it. Because, like, Sonic's 25th was 2016. And then Mania and Forces both came out the following year. But they're still regarded as the anniversary titles because they were announced during the big anniversary event. And they were so nostalgia-riddled. Mania, I get. Forces, what the fuck were they doing? Forces, the nostalgia angle made it worse. But Mania, like, that was kind of the whole point. And it's a really good game. And I still did enough fresh stuff in there to make it feel good. And I like it. And then Plus came out the following year and added Mighty and Ray in the Encore mode. And it was even better. And I like Mania, okay? But, like, they announced the next big mainline Sonics during that, right? So I feel like you know, even if they release the game next year, they should at least announce it, right? It doesn't have to release this holiday season, but we gotta at least know of its existence, and not just from leaks from a rating board. You know? They're hyping something up, and they're not gonna put that much energy into hyping up a re-release slash upgrade package. That seems stupid. But the question is, what are they doing? What are they hiding from us? They wouldn't put it past them to tease. They totally would. They would. It wouldn't be the first time they would announce a Sonic game like that with a teaser. It's like Forces We got the teaser where Classic showed up with Modern. They'll freaking run off in the destroyed city with the Death Egg robots in the background. And then Frontiers, there was Sonic running through the mysterious forest with these mysterious robots chasing after him. And Sonic gets this weird cyber power, and whoo, she's gone! You know? They've teased stuff with these events before. And Sonic Central would be a good spot for it. Again, Frontiers happened. But the question is, what? What do they have? They cannot just be hyping up a re-release. They wouldn't go through the effort of reskinning their social media to celebrate each individual decade of Sonic's history if they weren't building up to something. Because it feels like a lot of effort to hype up. You know? It has to be the next mainline game. People are saying that it might be the next mainline Sonic game might have a brand new model for Sonic, which good. he could use it. Everyone else is getting one. Sonic could use one. Something to address the constant side mouth, at least. That's one thing that was really holding Shadow Generations back. Like, the cutscenes, conceptually, very good. And definitely an overall improvement, but the models were definitely holding it back, and it made so much of the stuff feel super goofy with the forced side mouth. You know? I kind of hope they go back to something more like Adventure with their art style. And especially with keeping, like, you know, like, varied facial expressions, you know? We all clown on the, whoa! Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah! We all make jokes about that, but like, you know, at least Sonic's mouth wasn't forced to be on the side the whole time. He was way more expressive. I miss that. I miss that a lot. I'll be back. So like, I feel like they need to do something big. They need to do something big, and I think a big old visual refresh would be great. It's the one thing holding back their cutscenes, really. The Shadow Gen's cutscenes look pretty good outside of the models holding back some of the animations. Mostly in terms of the face. But they're highlighting each different decade of Sonic. They point out the different designs of Sonic for each decade. Because you have the modern 3D model, you have the Sonic Advance art, and now you have the classic Sonic 90s art. And I'm glad they didn't just use the classic Sonic 1 art that they used from the 25th anniversary and they keep using everywhere. They actually pulled out, like, they pulled out one of the old US arts with Sonic in a director's chair. That's cool. They picked a good image. Like, they're focusing a lot on his identity and how his kind of style was. The evolution of Sonic, as it were. Do you think they're hyping up the next big step? I feel like they would be. You know? And if it ends up looking bad, we'll just bully them into fixing it like we did with the first Sonic movie. Oh, man. I joke. I joke. There's gotta be something going on. Something's cooking. What are your secrets, Hedgehog? What are your secrets? Oh, man. It's weird. I'm getting a lot more spawns, but I don't get the sandwich, like, don't have the shinies to back it up. It feels so weird. I'm just gonna make sure of something real quick. I'm not seeing any shinies. And the game froze up again. There we go. Switch to edition, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing the Stop reading fast, me. If they're doing the definitive edition as Sonic Central, it wouldn't make sense to tease the next mainline game yet, since that would undoubtedly take away from the marketing for it. I mean, they could do both. I mean, they're already making this anniversary feel pretty big. I'm not sure it's as big as the full-on orchestra or anything. The 30th anniversary was special. But they're putting a lot more effort than you normally would see from a 35th anniversary of something. You know? Just kind of something to think about. I mean, think about Mario's 35th, for instance. Great comparison point. They wouldn't just be going through all of the effort just for a re-release. And again, they could announce at the Sonic Central and then release the game next year. That's not completely out of the realm of possibility. It's happened with Sonic games before, and many other games doing the same thing. Mega Man Do, that's coming out next year. Pokemon Generation 10, that's coming out next year. It's like, nothing wrong with letting us know. And it still would give Definitive Edition time to breathe because there'd be a year gap. That's still time. It's still something, you know? Maybe I'm crazy. I'm not gonna act like I'm some expert at business decisions, but meh. Alright. Nature guesses. Gonna go calm and careful. Quiet and hasty. Damn. And no marks again. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get the proper moves in here. I'm doing everything wrong here. I'm just a mess. I'm a mess. Larry, you're making a mess. No, I'm making an unmess. All right. 97 and 98. Number 97. Do we get it? Nope. We still have 98. Here we go. Number 98. Nope. 2 segment again. So, once again, no 3 segment. Why am I... It's weird. I feel like I should be getting more shinies with the buffed encounter rate, but I haven't been. That's weird. Off of Maridon, please. Save again. We're gonna do one more sandwich, and then we're gonna check out the N64 cliff. And see that nothing's changed, and we're gonna laugh at it! We're gonna laugh at it. Alright, creative mode. Tomato, onion, green bell pepper. Hamburger. 2 tofus. And 2 saltier mysticas, because why the hell not? Yeah, maybe I'm just looking into this too much. I look into a lot of things too much. It's probably not that deep, but at the same time, I am craving for more hedgehog. Alright. Last sandwich of the night. And it looks actually good. I still don't trust it though, because it's Generation 9 and the physics sometimes don't make any sense. It's very stupid. That's right, bite thin air. Ta-da! Well, yeah. The topic of doing a whole bunch of the 35th. The question is, have they really? It seems like they took a bunch of old images and cycled through them on socials. It's still more effort than you normally expect, I feel. You know? If that makes any sense. If they didn't have Sonic Central, then, you know, maybe. But, like, Sonic Central for Sonic's 35th birthday, having all the big announcements, I feel like would make sense. I mean, he was supposed to... They were supposed to do a thing for Sonic at the Game Awards, right? They were teasing it, and then nothing happened. There's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a reason, you know? Again, I might just be looking too deep. Fairly basic anniversary stuff. Perhaps. But I feel like they didn't really do all this for some of their anniversaries, you know? Like, every Sonic anniversary, every 5, they seem to do something kind of major. You know? It's like, you got Sonic Adventure 2 on the 10th, which is probably just my Green Hills in there. 15th, they had Sonic 06, and oh god. Oh, that's a little sad. Number 99. They didn't tease any for Sonic, they teased Total War? What the hell? Maybe I'm just not paying attention right. I don't know. What was I saying? The 15th, they had the really garbage Sonic 1 re-release. They had Sonic 06. And they had the first Riders. 20th, they had Generations. 25th, they had the big celebration live stream event that was absolute disaster. Absolute fucking disaster. That's when we got the announcement for Mania and Forces. 30th, we got... Let's see. Was Frontiers announced then? And then we had the Symphonies, which I think are still going, but not quite as much as they were before. So... And then Origins Plus was an anniversary thing as well. I don't think it lined up with the 30th. I think it was like the 31st or 32nd or something, but like... It released on Sonic's birthday. That was totally an anniversary thing. Like they hold off till the big birthday bash, you know. Some RTS franchise, I guess. I feel like I should have heard about that then. And again, I didn't really pay too much attention to the Game Awards. Like, outside of the typical discourse that happens, best parts, again, were freaking Muppets being there again for some reason, and then the Mega Man announcement. That was the most hyped thing of the whole event, just Mega Man finally coming back with something new! God! Some people are upset because it's basically Mega Man 12. It's not a new X game or Legends 3 or something, but god damn it, it's something new for Mega Man. We've been stuck with Collection of Hell for the past few years. At least it's something. And I'm looking forward to it. I liked Mega Man 11. So yeah. I just feel like they're hyping something up for Sonic, though. It's weird. They're celebrating each individual decade of Sonic, too, which is weird. Because, like, you'd think that would make more sense to do for the 30th, because it's an even number there. Right? But they do it for the 35th. Which doesn't fully line up with that, because we're only halfway through this one, this decade. It's very strange. It's gotta be some deeper meaning, man. What are they doing? I think one of the most profitable franchises this time, if I'm correctly? Huh. I must just completely glossed over it. I don't think it's really my thing. The only RTS I've ever played, I really think, is Pikmin. It's a lot more cartoony and isn't really your standard RTS, you know? It's not like a war sim or anything. It's I don't know. It's like a gathering simulator more than anything. But it still falls under the RTS umbrella. Like, I haven't really played any other games in that genre. So I probably, if I have seen Total War before, I was just like, neat. Okay. It's not generally a genre I'm super interested in. You know? And yeah, maybe I should branch out and try new franchises and maybe I'll find someone absolutely amazing. But, like, at the same time, I've been let down before. Why try a new thing when stuff I know works and is good, I can trust, and it's fine enough for me? They always tell you growing up, like, try it, you might like it, and then you try it and it's the absolute biggest dog shit you've ever had in your life, and you feel entirely vindicated. They never talk about that outcome. That's weird. Oh well. I'm all for new things, but like it can't be too new. If it's too new or too different, then we're gonna have problems. But it can't just be the same recycled thing over and over again because then it gets boring. You gotta find that balance. And that balance is hard, apparently. You know? Like, I'm probably missing out on a lot of fantastic games and such, but, you know, it's just not my genre of thing, so I'm not gonna have interest in it. Or I'm gonna see so many people talking about it and then get burnt out just by looking at the thing. So I'm already not super interested because it's just not something I feel like would really be something I'd want to have or play or anything. And then everyone keeps talking about it and I'm just like, God damn it, enough! I should become to stop talking about Among Us. I almost did the Among Us thing. I tried to stop myself, and I just fell apart. Like, you know that guy who's like, stop talking about Among Us! Who became a meme a few years back? I feel like that guy sometimes. You know? I'm probably missing out on great things as a result, but like, eh. That reminds me, I gotta play Goose Goose Duck again. I remember I played that back when they had a lot more roles than even Among Us had. Because Among Us had like the more standard roles, and then Goose Goose Duck had the more like wild, inventive things. And some of that I think was more recently brought over into Among Us when they decided to merge Among Us 2 with it. And I think it's neat, but I always found Goose Goose Duck more interesting because there's like a lot more stuff to it. They were still updating and everything. I gotta play it again. It's been legit over a year since I have. They definitely added more stuff by now. That might be something I play with Wanye. I played it before on my own time, and there was one point where I was the only duck left. There were two other people. There were three people because a tie would mean I'd win. But there were three other people left, and I was the only duck left. And they were playing really smart. They're like, okay, we all go this way. No one follow each other. If two people go in the same direction, and only one comes back, we know who the duck is. And like nothing happens, and we all just end up like a standstill for us all like 3 minutes. It's like, okay, everyone press the space bar, and we'll see who the duck is. And me, being smart, I think I mashed the shift button, which sounded enough like space to fool everyone in the voice chat. But like, I didn't want to accidentally hit space and end up, revealing myself. So I wanted to hope there was something. But no. I saw no way out of that, but it was so funny. It was so funny, dude. I want to play it again so bad. Now we're bringing up Among Us, because my god, it was so funny. Best part is, it's free, so I can get a bunch of my friends in on it, too. I mean, yeah, I think Among Us is like $5. It's not much of an investment, but like, Also, I think the art style of Goose Goose Duck I like more anyway. Just a kind of like derpy look on the geese is really funny to me. That game deserves more credit. It's fun. I like it. In fact, if I wasn't going to boot up Mario Kart World again after this, IRL friend and group leader, as I've decided to freaking call him now, I'd probably load up Goose Goose Duck after this. But no. I'm going to be probably playing Mario Kart World. Fair enough. I've been playing the hell out of it recently. In fact, I actually got all of the question mark panels on the map so far. And I want to say like 75 Peach medallions, probably like 150 odd P-switches. I've been playing a lot of free roam. Mainly because I've been trying to like occasionally attempt to 3-star the knockout tours. It has been going very badly. I at least have more than half of them 3-starred, but my god, that mode's infuriating sometimes. Because you have to get first at the start of every segment, and some of those segments are really short and really punishing. Especially because you get freaking Mario Karted. You get ahead for 1 second, blue shell, 2 red shells, a random green shell out of nowhere, someone presses the super horn, now you're in freaking 12th, restart the run. So annoying. You didn't have to get first every goddamn time, it wouldn't be so bad. Too damn much. It's too damn much. And then you have those ones where it's like the cherry rally, I think I did it on, where I'm a solid, like, 5 seconds ahead of everyone else by the end of it, somehow. There's a very prominent gap. Maybe I just need a better main if I'm gonna play Knockout Tour, but I like my current main. I like Waluigi with the Rob Hog. I like it. It's fun. It's not quite all-round balanced, but, like, still good. It's really nice. I like it. You know? It feels like blasphemy coming from me, because, like, I used to, like, main Luigi in literally everything he was playable in, right? But then, like, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 2 friends for the randomizer thing, and you know we had to do randomized characters in that because they're part of the item pool for that game. And I find myself actually playing as Baby Luigi more, mainly because we were playing 200cc and my normal name just did not work. You know, I played Baby Luigi in the land ship instead of normal Luigi with the Ink Striker. Yeah. But in this game, I tried maining Luigi for a while, and I got all his costumes and everything. But I found myself liking a lot more playing as Waluigi with the Rob Hog eventually. Like, when I unlocked that and messed around with it a little bit, trying to get Waluigi's costumes, like, that combo just kind of clicked. And I felt like I was doing better with the bikes anyway, and I liked the Rob Hog the best out of the set. And it all just kind of meshed together perfectly. But maybe I should try a different combo because maybe it's not the best for knockout tours. Not like it, you know, fails during knockout tours or anything, because, like, I've gotten, like, half of the 3 stars with him, so it's definitely doable, but the game just hates me. So, I don't know. It's a little annoying. Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing more gaming with them for that for a while, and hope they don't stay up all night doing that again, because that happened once. That was funny. Because IRL friend got a job upstate, so we have to go to bed a lot earlier now. So our late night gaming sessions don't normally last as long. So it's just been me and group leader doing this stuff for a while. For a while, I mean like the last few days. It's just a while, honestly, for me, it feels like. But, I pulled an all-nighter by complete accident just playing Mario Kart World and a little bit of Splatoon 3. So IRL friend wakes up at like 6 in the morning getting ready for work, and he sees I'm still on. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you still up? So, whoopsie doodle. Not letting that happen again. Yeah, I've been having fun with Mario Kart World. So, it's good. Group leaders trying to convince me to get Smash Ultimate, thinking they're never going to do a Smash game again because Sakura's out of the picture, and they're never going to do anything bigger than Ultimate. And I'm just like, maybe it's like a really bad like opinion or something, but I feel like with a game that's really competitive, if you don't join early, you're just not going to have fun. Because a lot of the casual folks are already done with it and moving on, so you love all the tryhards and experts who play the game fucking constantly, and then you're just kind of there, confused. You know? Maybe it's a bad way of looking at it, but... Maybe at this point I should just get Ultimate. I don't know. Maybe I should. It's like, if we're gonna be doing more group things, like, I might as well, right? I don't know. I'm conflicted, because I already said I was gonna get a new one if they made one. Here, on stream, there is video evidence of me saying this. It's more audio evidence, because you don't see me right now, but, like, I said this multiple times. If there's a new Smash Brothers, I'm getting it. And you'll see how much I hate it. Like, I just need more multiplayer things in general, especially because Group Leader keeps offering to do these multiplayer things, and I don't even have half of them. We have Mario Party, Mario Kart, not Mario Kart World specifically as well. Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World. We could play Splatoon, but IRL friend doesn't have it. And, with someone who hasn't played the game in, like, 2 years and was already just not caring for it in the first place, despite the fact that I put more hours in than she did somehow. Yeah, it didn't really go well. It was mostly fun when I was playing Turf War, because holy shit, I cannot play the other modes to save my life, and the controls all feel wrong to me now! It's the whole thing. I might just have to suck it up and get Smash Bros. Ultimate. At this point, I might just have to. You know? I don't know. Maybe I will. I'm just not sure. I'm not super sure I will. If it means more multiplayer stuff. And who knows, maybe it'll finally click with me. Maybe I'll be able to play Smash Brothers and maybe have fun with it more than guaranteed I'm going to lose. I'm just here to give them a show type deal. And who knows, maybe I'll win a match ever. I've never won a Smash Bros. Match in my life. Well, that's what I don't like. It's because you need to get good. Stupid argument. Why would I want to get good at something I'm not having fun with? Seems kind of stupid. Oh, you're not having fun with a thing? Oh, you're also playing really badly? Oh, it's a skill issue. Keep playing it for another 1,000 hours. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll build Stockholm Syndrome. Memories. Me and Smash don't really get along much. I've made that very clear. I might just have to suck it up, though. I don't know. I don't know. I'm the guy with the wrong opinions all the time, so maybe this is another one of those. Who knows? It could just be dumb. You guys make me suck at Smash? Oh, great! A handicap. Oh my gosh! I need to play with a handicap in order to actually have a chance. Oh my god! I mean, granted, it would be nice to kind of start with like a. I don't want to say like a basic. Sort of basic thing like that. I don't know. Not really the best way of putting it, but you know, my last time I played Smash was back in high school, and that was so long ago. It's been nearly a decade, I think. I'm old. Yeah, I have not even touched Smash Bros. Since that freaking tournament. The one I talked about on stream multiple times, where I was playing as Blue Kirby, just kind of fill it in the slot, because otherwise it would just skip the round. Because the person was an no-show. Probably was sick that day. I don't know. It's been so long since then, so I don't even know. I mean, I was already kind of pretty low to begin with. I might as well be starting back from square one anyway. You know? Or as I mentioned when I was trying out Splatoon 3 with the group leader, starting at square -7. So, yeah. I wouldn't even know really necessarily where to start with Smash even. The only characters I've played as are Kirby and Yoshi. That's it. I think I'm maybe trying a little bit of Meta Knight because the teacher in charge of our gaming group wanted to have a complete subspace file, and I tried a little bit of that, and it was like 2/3 of the way through, I think. Like, I played it for like 2 minutes and didn't really vibe with it and moved on. And that was just kind of it. So I guess I've technically played as Meta Knight. But like, for like a minute and then I moved on. I can at least say I've played full matches with Kirby or Yoshi. I'll say that at least. So like, I don't know. You know, they might put Melee on NSO at some point. Everyone loves Melee so damn much. It's like maybe I'll play that when I upgrade. By the time I upgrade to the extra package, it might be on there by then. Maybe. Everyone loves Melee so damn much. So I don't know. You only own Smash 3DS, we haven't played it much. Besides that, I've put an Ultimate Little at my friend's house. You've played more than me! Probably. I've probably played a total of like 5 matches ever, and then like a small chunk of a subspace level. That's it. So like, yeah. It feels wrong though, doesn't it? It's like you're not enjoying a game, but everyone else is playing it. You don't want to be playing games by yourself. And like this is back in the Wii U era when Smash 4 was the thing. So like if you had a Wii U, you had Smash 4, unless you're me. So everyone's playing that. And it goes to the only thing in that generation that anyone even bothered to play. I remember actually being distraught seeing Ultimate be announced on Switch, being like, oh god, that's the only thing people are ever gonna play on that console ever again. I'm gonna be alone. And well, good news, it didn't fully kill off Mario Kart 8 this time, but but yeah, it goes to show how I felt about Smash Brothers back then. I wouldn't say it's necessarily improved much from there. If a new character gets into Smash that I really like, I'll be like, cool, nice to see them get some representation. It's been acknowledged for the first time in forever. Banjo-Kazooie. And then I never think about it again. I move on. I mean, it'd be nice to be part of the hype cycle where I'm actually reacting to the Rex and shit, but like... Man... It's also Smash Brothers. Everyone hypes up this series as like the best thing ever made, and I'm just like, what? I don't know. I'm so conflicted about the whole thing, because like, I have this opinion about Smash Brothers, but everyone's telling me I'm not justified to have an opinion, and maybe they're right. I don't know. It's bugging me a little now, actually. It's actually bugging me a little. Ah! Whatever. It's been long enough since I last played, so maybe I can come in with a fresh outlook, I suppose, and maybe I'll actually enjoy it. But it could end up being like Monkey Ball again. Or I guess maybe like Pac-Man World 2 Repack, whereas like, everyone loves Pac-Man World 2. Everything I see of it, people seem to love it. I'm gonna play it with the remake, and it ends up being kinda... It's like, okay... Wonder why I'm not always keen on taking game suggestions. Yay! Yeah, but maybe it is time after all these years to give it a proper shot again. Maybe. It'd be a big maybe. Maybe I'll make a Twitter poll about it and we'll see what happens. You know? I'll consider it. I don't know. It's like, I could make a YouTube poll, but it really only reached people who watch my stuff, which mainly be just, you know, you, Vix. Well, with a Twitter poll, it goes out to a lot more people, I think, than a community poll ever will. And plus, I don't watch a lot of Smash stuff on YouTube, but I've seen plenty of Smash stuff on Twitter because it's a Nintendo thing, and the algorithm's like, hey, everyone's talking about this. Did you hear that Sora got announced? When that was a huge deal a few years back? Yeah, remember that? I don't know. Are you shiny or am I losing my mind? I am losing my mind. Okay. Your shine is a little bit darker. I have one of those. I just didn't remember. Yeah. Oh my god, it's freezing again. Ooh. We're in Scapegoat playing the long drive. Just, ooh, autosave, why? Alright. Well, I was expecting to get more Dudunsparce out of that, but I didn't, which is weird. Only one more. The big 100. Meaning I have to reformat this a little bit. Which first? Our nature guesses. I'm going to guess... very timid again, and I'm going to go with careful. Calm, naughty with a mark. The Dawn mark. Ooh. Actually, we're trying to move on. Alright, the last Dudunsparce of the night. Good old 100. Let's start when Smash comes up. Just tell people it isn't your type of thing. I find that it tends to work generally with similar things. Maybe. People still try to be like, oh, come on, just give them another chance. I don't know. Everyone seems to hype it up, so you know, maybe I'm the crazy one. Here we go. Number 100. Oh, hey, the text didn't actually look really bad. I don't need to change it. 2 segment. I think we've officially hit odds. I think. I'm not sure how it works in this scenario. I'm just going to assume we're at odds and move on. So, no 3 segment yet, but an overall good first Switch 2 stream. I think we got, what, 9 Dudunsparces today? Which is pretty good. You think it'd be more, but I think it's slightly more than usual anyway. Let's check out this cliff. I think it was around here, right? Somewhere up in this area? I think this is where the N64 cliff was. Since I didn't look at it, it loads so fast. There's so little to load. Alright, let's see. Yeah, look at this. Look at this crap. It's absolutely pathetic. Look at this. Just... ugh. Is Delibird meant to be upon delivered? Yes. Yeah, this is the N64 cliff. I feel like that might be giving it too much credit. Like, look at this. Look at this little bit here. Especially. Oh my god. Bruh. Come on. Garbage. Garbage. Okay, I do need to actually format the wrist strap off of my arm here for a second. I do need to reformat the text a little bit because it is cropped off a little bit. I want to see if I can maybe fix this. I can stretch them out. That's fun. Can't move any more to the right, so it's going to be cropped that way forever. But can I do... That. Does that look good? Oh, it's a little... Oh, it's a pixel of the colon there from the normal layout. Oh god, I'm ruining it. I'm ruining it. You know what? Maybe I just keep... Oh no, not the game. Don't move the game. Maybe I do like that. Eh. If I knew how to get rid of the colon proper, this wouldn't be a problem. So is it meant to be pronounced Delibird? I assume so. Delibird. You still bird as one syllable, not lib-erd. But like, the name is definitely based on deliver. I think that's kind of the point. I mean, the dang thing looks like Santa Claus. You're surprised? Then again, official pronunciations can just be wrong. Stonejarner. It's Stonejarner. Like Journey. The fuck are you doing? I hate your Pokemon company. Why Stonejarner? That's fucking stupid. I don't know. I'm gonna pronounce it Delibird. Or something along those lines. So, like, there you go. At least you understand what the pun's meant to be. That's what matters. You know, I'm gonna not do this right now. I'm gonna mess around with the counter here a little bit, maybe. Off stream. And, maybe I'll make it look a bit better. I do like having the shiny Dudunsparce there in the corner, though. But yeah, I think it could use a little revamp, maybe. I don't know. Don't expect me to like make a whole on like stream border or anything, where it's like there's a whole border outside and the game's kind of shrunken into it. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do something like that, but I'm not really known for professional quality, so it's like, eh. Isn't deliver with everything from the V after replaced with the word bird. It's pronounced as Delibird. Yeah, you're not supposed to pronounce it like deli, like meat. It's Delibird, Delibird, delivered, Delibird. You get it. now I'm being overly conscious about how I pronounce things. Thanks. This always happens when people talking about pronunciations. I overthink it. I just overthink it. It's my problem. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Supper's probably waiting for me, and I'm gonna go play some Mario Kart World, and I'll do more of this tomorrow. And hopefully get more shinies out of it. I wonder when the day will come when I actually do get the 3 segment. I wonder. I'm gonna make sure nope, wrong button. X. Then save. So I don't want to lose any of these Dudunsparces, because I do plan on training them out eventually. Hang on. Is that 1 pixel offset? Was the stream like 1 pixel off for a bit? It's gonna happen during the most boring stream, obviously. Yeah, I always keep like, oh, I don't do the Dudunsparce streams like super often in a row, because like by Friday I'm all bored out of my mind. I've already talked about everything. There's nothing new that happens in like 24 hours. Was it? I remember when I moved the game accidentally like this. When I clicked it again, I noticed it said 1 pixel at the top, and I moved it again, it snapped, and it didn't do it anymore. I think it was trying to snap to, like, the Dunsparce down here. Like, it snapped weird. It's not doing it anymore, though, so it's fine now? It's 1 pixel. You're probably not gonna notice, but like, that's weird. I don't know if it's been like that for fucking forever, or if it just happened for me accidentally moving the game video. I don't know. Only 1 pixel. You're not gonna notice. Yeah, I'll adjust this. I'm gonna probably lock this in place. Can I lock this? Can I lock this particular object? I'll figure it out. That's not a thing for right now. It's 1 pixel, and it's probably mostly cropped off by the YouTube UI, so who cares? It doesn't matter. It's one row of pixels. If anything, at best, it was probably there for like a couple minutes during this. I'm supposed to try to end the stream and then go get food. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for more Dudunsparce. And we'll see if I actually do get some proper shiny luck. I feel like I got less than I really should, given how many things. I wonder if anything of edited has had that issue like that. Maybe. I know a lot of programs, you drag something in, it just automatically format the size to fit the video. Like, if the video had that by default, I don't know. Like, normally programs kind of have like a snap thing to it, and I guess the snapping on this was like 1 pixel off, probably because Dudunsparce wasn't quite lined up. I don't know. Yeah, I'll tweak this a little bit for next time, I suppose. I could theoretically do something like this, and like bring this up to the front. Like, I bring something up. Sources. There. I can't really hide the colon there. Now I'm gonna be self-conscious about that looking back. You're welcome. But yeah, I'll tweak this and try to make it look more decent. I don't know. It might stay somewhat cropped just to get the colon out of here or something. I don't know. I mean, just because of the Pokemon font here, the second 0 here is slightly cut off. So, not much I can really do about that. It'll only really be noticeable with the large characters. Like, the 1's not going to have a problem when it gets put there. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to change the formatting on the on-screen death counter program's output, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I've been trying to end stream for 5 minutes again, like I usually do. I'm gonna go have some supper. See you tomorrow.